What's up, guys? This is Lee Rosa. Today we're going to dive into a model on running your life through a plan called the Life Plan. Stay tuned. My name's Lee Rosa, coach, mentor, real estate agent, going on 20 years, and today we're going to dive into a model that is near and dear to my heart, summarized as the Life Plan. There are lots of parts to this plan, and yet each piece has an important stackability to help you run the most efficient business, professional, life, personal, all the above. Let's dive in. The first step to goal setting is laying a strong foundation. Without a strong foundation, when life gets hectic, when things get chaotic, bad things can happen. Like this picture. This is a high-rise in China that was laid without a strong foundation. And when you think of high-rises here in Miami, they go super deep. That's that foundation. Then they build up. The entire point today is that we're going to talk about building a strong foundation. Stay tuned. If you like what you see, please share it. Like, subscribe, comment below. I'd love to hear which part of the plan is your favorite, and let's keep going. The purpose of goals and preparation is to create the best possible outcomes, in turn creating the best possible version of yourself. We do this through systems. We set goals to reach for the stars so that we strengthen who we are, we break our systems, and chase better models in pursuit of goals. The truth is, goals are simply getting the best out of ourselves. When talking about goals, I think of Michelangelo. A couple years ago, I had the pleasure of seeing one of the greatest coaches in the real estate space, and he shared a picture of David. And he shared the quote from Michelangelo that said, "I created a vision of David in my mind, and I simply carved away everything that wasn't David." This to me is exactly what goal setting is all about. It's about being crystal clear in what you want to achieve, removing all of the distractions, and being clear on what it is that you have to do to chip away, move forward, and achieve the greatest version of yourself, which is why you're setting certain goals, to achieve greatness. When building the life plan, it's broken into 7 steps. The first is the 8 gardens of life. First creation, second creation, goal setting to the now, the 411, SMART goals, the life happiness audit, and most importantly, the Sunday system for success. Let's break down the 8 gardens. Garden number 1 is health and nutrition. And when you think of this, think nutrition, gym, sleep, all of the rounded out edges of how we be the best version of ourselves health-wise. The second one is lifestyle and adventure. This is where we're going on vacations, having great experiences, going places. Where and what are we going to accomplish this year to have excitement? The third is business and career. Where are you breaking down your businesses? What would success look like in them? How are you leading your employees? How are you communicating with your clients? Where are you crushing it and will crush it in your different businesses and your career? Next, financial and investment. Where are we investing? Is it crypto? Is it more in the stock market? Is it our 401k? Is it our TSP? Where are we focused on setting goals to have passive income and building wealth? The fifth is spiritual and contribution. Where are we meditating? Are we going to church, synagogue? How are we giving back to our community? This is spiritual and contribution. Number 6 is our personal and intellectual growth. This is our growth plan. What books are we reading? What podcasts are we listening to? What movies are we seeing or documentaries? What events? What masterminds? How are we growing as entrepreneurs, as partners, as business owners, as professionals? What specifically are we setting as goals to grow as people? The next one is friends, family, and relationships. What's our relationship with our spouse, our kids, our family, our friends? Are we having a Friendsgiving? Are we going on vacation sometime this year? What are we doing to be focused on achieving greatness in our relationships? And the eighth one is flexible. This is environment and tribe. If you have squads at work or pods at work, how would you focus on them? That would be different than your career. Who are your groups of people in your life? Is it you're part of a bowling group or a kickball team or a softball team? Where is it that you want to focus on this core little group that you would call environment or tribe? For me, I run a leadership team in our office. They are different than career, they're my tribe. I coach top agents in our office. They are part of this environment and tribe, which would be different than my personal career. And I hope that brings some clarity around that. So to summarize the 8 gardens, we got health, nutrition, lifestyle, adventure, business, career, financial, investment, spiritual, and contribution, personal and intellectual growth, friends, family, relationships, and tribe, community. Why are these called gardens? Gardens because if you do not water a garden, what happens? Exactly. So in each one of these aspects, each one of these gardens, what we want to do is find time to what would watering look like? What would adding a little bit of TLC, a little bit of effort look like in this arena? First creation, second creation. Think of a 3D printer. 3D printers can print houses, cars, guns, but they can't print anything if the computer didn't direct it what to do. So when it comes to goals, when it comes to our lives, first creation means we have to conceive it. We have to think about it. We have to put it out into the universe for it to actually happen. And so first creation is simply slow down, document, put it out there in as much clarity as possible, and allow the universe to bring it into fruition for you. Without first creation, second creation, everything is guesswork, or we're reactive to whatever could possibly happen. And to have the greatest possible outcome in our professional and personal lives, let's slow down in this process and allow the universe with clarity to give us everything that we need. Reverse bucket list. This is one of my favorite of my entire life plan. When you think of a bucket list, that's everything you want to do before you die. Very important. Slow down. Where do you want to go? What do you want to experience? What do you want to get? Who do you want to become? That's the bucket list. The reverse bucket list is everything you've already done, achieved, purchased, felt. You see, we always are looking forward. We're always looking at what we want. Let's slow down, smell the roses, and document all the cool shit that you do. Like, tell you a quick little one that speaks to me. I was on a cruise just a couple weeks ago, Thanksgiving cruise with my family. They call it Cruisegiving. And each morning I would wake up as the sun was coming up and I would journal every single morning. It was absolutely blissful. And the last couple days of the cruise, I started planning for 2025. I started planning for the next year. And there was a segment where I wrote out all 8 gardens, and I would separate them with a reverse bucket list, which would be things that I remember I did this year. And then I would write goals in that category for next year. I spent 2 days doing this, off and on, just adding things that I remember. Now I knew that I had documented everything up to this year digitally, but because I was on a cruise, I didn't have internet at the time, and I was doing everything off the top of my head as an exercise. When I got back home, one of the first things I did was I went to my documented reverse bucket list for this year just to compare my notes. And I knew that I only documented like 20% of the entire reverse bucket list that I had documented. And I totally forgot. At the beginning of the year, I totally forgot that I took my dad to see Victor Wembanyama, the Spurs versus the Heat. We sat lower bowl, had amazing seats. And it was something special to me because we never know how many times we're going to see this guy. Ever. Because the Heat only play the Spurs at home once per year. And me and my dad had this special, awesome evening down in Miami observing this game. Great entertainment. But it was gone. It wasn't even in my mind until I saw it on the reverse bucket list and I was able to visualize all the experiences that we had. What is the purpose of the reverse bucket list? Or how do we make the reverse bucket list easier? Well, the purpose of it is that you never apologize for being awesome. And the trick to doing this super easy and consistently is take pictures of everything. Take videos of everything. Don't worry about posting it on social media. Just assure that you have it documented so at the end of every week or the end of every month or at the very least every quarter, you will go back, look through your photos, and document all the cool experiences that you find yourself in. Now, why is this important? Because we're always chasing goals. And we all have huge blessings and wins in our life. This is the perfect opportunity to slow down, smell the roses, and don't apologize for being awesome. The reverse bucket list, absolutely one of my favorite pieces of the life plan. If you like the reverse bucket list, why don't you share some of the cool things you've experienced this year in the comments? That would be awesome. Thank you so much. The next part of the life plan is drafting your 5 future greatest hits. See, the purpose of the greatest hits is for you to write out in detail 5 things that you're going to accomplish in your bucket list. I mean, this is stuff out, way out, and I want you to draw it out, write it out. Picture what that experience is. It might be your first child. It might be your first grandchild. It might be you on an expedition in Antarctica. It might be a Australian trip or a trip to Alaska. What does this look like? What was the experience like? The cleaner and clearer you are, the more that first creation, second creation can come into play. Next, goal setting to the now. The purpose of goal setting to the now is starting with someday goals out in the universe. Where, what, how, someday. Could be 30 years from now. Could be 20 years from now. Someday. Once you have a someday goal, the next is, what is my 5-year goal? So someday to 5 years. Then, what is your 2025 goal? What is your next year's goal? This coming year, 1 year, that would be 1 year to the 5-year goal, to the someday goal. Then, what would make January, or the next month, move you 1/12 closer to your annual goal? Then, what will you do January 1st, the first week of January, to move you closer to your January goal? That will move you closer to your 2025 goal. That will move you closer to your 5-year goal. That will move you in alignment with your someday goal. Once you know what you're going to do the first week of January to move you closer to your month goal, what are you going to do today? Then, what can I do right now to move me in alignment with my day goal? That will move me in alignment with my month goal, which will move me in alignment with my annual goal, so on and so forth. Goal setting to the now is dreaming and bringing everything into an absolute, what can I do right now and move this forward. Next, SMART. SMART is a acronym, very important to systematic goal setting and achievement. SMART is an acronym: specific, measurable, attainable, repeatable, and timely. My favorite is, I want to get healthier. Well, what does healthy look like? If you went to the gym 200 times this year, would you be healthier? Yes. Is going to the gym a goal of yours? Yeah, it was part of my goal. Cool. So if you go to the gym 200 times, is it specific? Yep. Is it measurable? Yeah, it's 200. Could you go to the gym 200 times this year? Yeah, so it's attainable. Could you do 200 every year? Is it repeatable and is it realistic? Well, yeah, it's going to the gym roughly 2 out of every 3 days. Okay, is that realistic? Yeah. Okay, and by when? Well, by the end of the year, I'm going to go to the gym 200 times. That is a SMART goal. Another SMART goal would be 52 date nights versus I want to have a better relationship with my spouse. Okay, so what would a SMART goal look like? 52 date nights. Awesome. Is that specific? It is. Is it measurable? 52. Could you do it? Absolutely. Is it realistic? Well, it should be to have a great relationship. And by when? Well, it's 52 by the end of the year. Now, does that have to be every week? Well, no, it doesn't have to be. It's 52 in a year, and we can now break that up however we deem to work with our work, our relationship, the kids, etc. Once we understand SMART goals, we're clear in what we want to achieve from our someday goals. Now we move into a tool that is near and dear to my heart called the 411. The 411 is a productivity tool that drives goal setting and provides clarity on the right activities that will move you closer to being the person you need to become, that will challenge you and allow you to stay in alignment with your goals. The 411 means 1 year, 1 month, 4 weeks. 4 weeks in a month per year. Awesome. We take our SMART goals and we plug them into our annual, both personal and professional. Each month gets its own 411, and we break the weeks up into 4 specific weeks, which means one of the weeks is going to be a wraparound. As you can see in the example, the wraparound is in the last of the 4 weeks in this particular example. You can decide which one, first week or the last week, gets the wraparound week, which would have more days in it. Are we front loading the month or are we having more days on the back end? Is there a holiday involved? You're able to customize this however you see fit, with the whole idea of executing on your SMART goals, moving them incrementally forward. At the end of each week, you'll look at how you move those particular tasks forward and decide if you're going to add a couple more tasks into the next week that will move you in alignment with your monthly obligation or goal that you had set earlier in the month. Once you declare what specifically you're going to do each week, the next step of the 411 is to move them into your calendar. Time blocking is absolutely a skill, and it is imperative to proper execution of the model. Because if it's in your schedule, it now exists. If it's in your schedule and it exists and something else comes up, now you follow the model of if you erase, you replace. So if you know that you have the gym in the morning, but you happen to have a meeting you cannot move, and the gym is one of the pillars of your goals, then you just move the gym to another time because you can't move the meeting that someone else put on your calendar. If you want to know more about the 411, check out one of my other videos that I shared on my YouTube channel that explains the 411 into absolute detail. Now we're going to dive into consulting questions, which every week on Sunday I slow down and look and ask these 5 questions. So these are the consulting questions on the 411. The first is, what was the goal? Number 2, how did I do? How do I feel about it is the next question. And based on how I did, what's my new goal next week? And what do I have to do to stay in alignment with my goal? The last question is there anything that might keep me from meeting the new standard or goal for the next week? So let's break this down. If our goal is to speak to 100 people this week in our business, the first week we spoke to 75. Well, now we have to make a decision. Do we speak to 125 this week to make up for the 25? Or do we speak to 112 and know that the next week we're going to speak to 113, catching up from the lack? Because our monthly goal theoretically would be 400, and we know that we're behind based on the math. When we consult in the 411, this is simply our ability to stay in alignment and move forward. The next is super vital, and this is done once a quarter at the beginning of each quarter. And we audit the month and we audit the quarter before in whatever categories you decide. Here's an example of some: diet and water, exercise, dollar productive activities, our love for work, romance, relationship with our children, our relationship with our parents, with our siblings, with our friends, horizontal income, music and dance, hobbies, adventure and travel, risk and excitement, chill time, giving back, future planning, gratitude thermometer, and most importantly, add whatever's important to you. On a scale of 1 to 10, name each one how you feel. A 1, what is that? And a 10, I'm killing it. I'm rocking it. It is the best it could ever be. Add them all up and then get your average of where you are at the start of the quarter, auditing your previous quarter. Then the fun begins. You compare quarter over quarter over quarter, see how you started the year, how you ended the year on each category, and of course, your whole life when you take the average of each one. The last part is the most important part, and that's the Sunday system for success. This is a time that you block end of Friday, you block it for Saturday, or you block it for Sunday, hence the name. But the most important part is that you build a bunker around you. You turn your phone off. You don't let anyone get in your space. It is your time. You put on music, get your favorite beverage, be comfortable. And I always start my Sunday system for success writing out 10 things I'm grateful for, making sure that I have awesome music in the background that allows my brain to get in a flow state. And that is my bunker. My bunker is music, beverage, environment, light, comfort, and quiet. Then I organize my tools, which is my 411, my calendar, and most importantly, my weekly journal, along with my phone. And the phone is for the photos, for my pictures, to be reminded of what it is that I did, and that part comes later. I open up my calendar, I use Google Calendar, go in there, and I write out what my next week is going to look like, starting at first thing in the morning on Monday, all the way through day 1, Tuesday, Wednesday, and just go through the week all the way through next Sunday. I then highlight the different activities based on a color code that I have created for myself, and that's blue is when I teach classes, green is income producing activities, family is a different color, travel time is a different, and I have now a visual of what my week will look like. What this does is it shows me where there's white space. It shows me where I have opportunities to fill in blanks of where and what appointments I have, where I'm going. And the visualization part is imagining a perfect week. Looking at the gym first thing in the morning, then my first meeting, then my class, then lunch, then my team meeting, then my first appointment, then my and just visualizing the perfect day, perfect couple days, perfect week, and allowing the universe to give me, provide for me exactly what I deserve because I'm asking it to give me the perfect visualization of the week. Then I review my finances. I'm always auditing my finances because the first dollar saved is the first dollar earned, and knowing what behavior I have with spending or what type of season I'm in for investing, I want to know where everything is. I'm always tracking my net worth. I'm tracking what behavior I have on my credit cards. I'm doing my business audit, and I'm preparing myself for clarity going into the next week. Next, probably the most important, which is celebrating our wins, our successes, our opportunities. What went well? What do we have opportunities of growth? What didn't go as planned? And go through your phone, go through your calendar, and document all the cool things that you experience. What should go in your reverse bucket list? Who did you help? Who helped you? All of these prompts and ideas are designed for you to have a clear head, smell the roses, and know that life is pretty darn awesome. And if you feel that you're in a season where it's not, think through how to climb out of it. The life plan has so many benefits to a teacher, an entrepreneur, a businessman. Whoever you are watching, thank you, and I'd love to know what part of the business plan, life plan, was your favorite. If you like what you see, feel free to share this, comment below, subscribe, and let me know what you'd like to see next.